I still need like a proper like DJ vibe at the beginning of these meetings. Feel like I'm failing. Brandon, feels like something that you should be responsible for. You're muted. What'd you say?
Yeah, I sent the second thing I sent you was a little thing that you can just loop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Let me check on that. Hold on a sec. I'm just letting people in. Bear with me, folks. For the record, Zoom's share screen interface always is annoying, and Google Meets is always easier.
Yep.
So for the AI overlords who are monitoring my conversation, just want to make sure it gets back to each of you. Okay.
And it looks nice there.
Yeah, I'm at my wife's grandmother's house in San Jose.
Mm.
Really? That's my
I
hometown.
need I need to get out of the sun though. It's too hot.
Oh, dude, this time of year it can get to 100 plus easy in San Jose this time of year.
Yeah. Is your
That's
hometown?
also
Yeah, I grew up on
that's
the east
also
side.
where I'm from.
Oh, wait, from Noah?
Yeah.
Really? Where'd you grow up?
Willow Glen.
Oh, really? All right, I grew up Story Road.
Oh, cool.
Where'd you go to high school?
Willow Glen High School.
Okay,
Middle,
yeah.
elementary, high. Yeah.
Nice. I was a Bellarmine kid.
Nice. Nice.
Noah, you're a hero.
Hey, Gregory.
How's it
Good to
going?
see you. Good. Nice angle.
All right. I think we're getting close to critical mass here, letting in some folks, and I'll do a screen share and get us moving here. Some new
Yeah, I just
faces.
jumped over from the Regen Commons call, which unfortunately goes 15 minutes into this time. So I think Max just came over from there too. But
Cool. Well,
and
I
Gina
get
too. So there's a bunch of us over there.
cool. Right on. All good. All right. Let me screen share and get rolling. Okay. Okay, everyone. Well, let's get rolling. I'll let people in as they're kind of piling in here. Thanks for joining us. This is our summer for the Global North, our summer end of summer community call. Excited to have you all here. There has been just so much moving in the space, and I think we have presentations from across the community today, short ones. For those of you who are not aware, we do this once a month, and it usually is about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and just gives us the network a chance to share. So, if you are here for the first time, welcome. If you are interested in sharing and supporting, about your work in Regen Network, please don't hesitate to DM me. I'm David at regen.network. And I'm Dave Fortson. I'm the COO of Regen Network Development, PBC, the private company that built the public blockchain and runs day-to-day operations in and around the network related to things like origination of ecological assets, running our application, and supporting our community, and then the broader network composed of a number of you, from Regen Foundation, Liquidity DAO, and other builders are really what makes this whole operation go. So really excited to have you here and give you some space to share. So I'm going to go ahead and get moving. Go through the agenda real quick. So we're going to be going through kind of some internal R&D stuff, what's happening at the registry. So we have, I think Becca from our team is going to share some updates on that front, and then we'll go immediately over to Max, who is always staying up quite late to support communication from what's happening over at the tokenomics working group, governance, and other things Brandon related. He's got some things that are moving that he wanted to share about. We'll talk about Regen Coin and Liquidity DAO. We'll have a ledger update from Giancarlo, some DAO tooling update from Noah, who's here. I think Gaia AI team and Samu will be joining us, and then Regen Commons update. And that will come from, I'm hoping Gregory or Jeremy was considering joining us as well. So if there's anything that I'm missing or one of you was supposed to present and I didn't capture that, don't hesitate. We can always make quick changes. Sound good? Awesome. All right. So let's start with what's happening within R&D and within our registry team. And one of those things that straddles Regen Network development and our registry operations as well as Regen Foundation is the Regen Builder Lab. Becca, do you want to share a little bit more what's moving on this front?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who are familiar with Regen Builder Lab, it is a space intentionally made around those developing regenerative projects, so crediting and beyond. And it's definitely been a hands-on form of practice where we've dug into different topics, looked at the Regen stack. So this next one in August, in 2 weeks, Regen Foundation, on kind of the heels of the DAO launch, is going to dig into more of like collective governance and ownership, asking those 2 questions that I have there. And it's ideal for new and experienced folks within the Regen econ space. So all are welcome. And then what we do after we kind of like dig into something is we have breakouts to where if folks want to talk about something else or a project, that space is wide open. So please join us.
Awesome. And then for those of you not following, the Regen application is open for anyone to upload their projects around the world that are supporting ecological regeneration and repair. And we've got a number of projects that have uploaded themselves, and we're going to be sharing those on socials in the coming.
Mira, no, nosotros estábamos haciendo un pool. A ver, las chicas ya
let me
tenían
just-
un pool armado y yo me adosé. Sí, perdón, me entró gente en la oficina y bueno, y colgué.
Oh, hold
Mira,
on.
no, nosotros estábamos haciendo un pool. A ver, las chicas ya tenían
Just
un pool
I'll
armado
let
y yo me
I'm
adosé.
mute you. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about, or Becca's going to share a little bit more about the Kendir hemp project, or maybe other spotlights.
Yeah, and if they're here, we did invite them if they wanted to talk about, do I see anybody here from Earthist?
I think Soto is here.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah, Soto. So I saw this, and if you'd like to take a second to share, it's just an awesome project page and obviously a lot to be said for this work. If you want to put you on
So I'm gonna unmute you if you want to. Oh, that looks like you did it yourself. Please.
Thanks, Becca. Thanks, David. I'm like kind of between mountains, so my reception might not be the best. So please jump in if there's any connection issues. I want to start because like our journey through Regen Foundation's endowment program has started over a year and a half ago, because we tried to explore the way for our community of hemp farmers in Turkey to make ecological decisions using blockchain governance. And we met DAO, which is, I think, the amazing tool personally after using Snapshot. And that was like a good research for all of us. And really congrats for upgrading after a year and a half to Regen Network. We are finally home. This is where the ecological decisions belong, really. It's our journey, actually, we just wanted to verify the soil health, basically. And now we are on a journey to get our data stream for different projects because our DAO has been represented by many different NGOs. It's represented by different NGOs, grassroots organizations, and regenerative businesses. This Kendir Hemp project is one example. So there are at least 1 to 3 people representing those projects in our DAO. So we try to explore the validation model, which interestingly, on the other hand, we go through WhatsApp because it's much easier for our people on the ground. So we basically work in different farms all around the country, and we are first verifying our work through WhatsApp, and then take it to the proposal in DAO with the data belonging the location, the area, the expected outcome of our plantation, because in the end we do a business that turned our farm work into products, and we just validate ourselves because everybody is not in the same farms. So we are trying to create a collective knowledge base, which DAO helped a lot. And we launched on Regen network, moved after a year and a half. And now there's amazing perks that are waiting for us. For example, our first proposal has been rewarding our community members just for being there, just for getting into the governance, which is a big thing for really on the ground people. It's not easy to just open the Kepler vote. It is actually very easy, but our process has been onboarding them through knowledge, first blockchain, what is the proof of work systems, what is proof of stake, and then getting into Regen network. So over 3 years, I think, or 4 years, we've been just spreading the good news about the Regen network, and finally the technology is here to support us bigly. And we are hoping to get more projects on chain, and through the data streams, we want to validate through different organizations in our country, which ReFi is, unfortunately, even though with very high crypto adoption rate, unfortunately ReFi is still very, very slow. We have launched a cooperative which now works as a hand of a DAO, which are 70% of our members is a part of this cooperative, because we really needed a legal workforce on the ground to make those ecological decisions in the physical world. So that's been a very, very good journey, and I really want to thank the Regen Foundation team. I hope there will be more people coming into the endowment program. Shayla has been a great help. Nena, Austin, Will, Noah. That happened like thanks to all those amazing people. Yeah, I'm just personally very happy to be coming home. Yeah, from governance to regeneration. Thank you. If any questions, I'm here.
Love it. That's wonderful. Any questions for Soto?
Super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm curious, are you planning on moving your DAO now that DAO's live on Regen? Are you planning on migrating sort of like the DAO instance over there? Question mark.
Yes, yes. We actually created our last proposal on Juno network to put its name into Old Artist DAO, and we have created with the same members on Regen network, and we are there. I think we might be the first DAO on Regen network. I don't know if there's a way to check this now, but I'd love to hear what's going
I
on.
could check.
Exciting. Yeah, I have some DAO plans, but you probably beat me to it.
No, it's
too.
the guys. It's like, what was our motto, Gregory?
Out cooperate the
Out-cooperate the
competition.
competition. Yeah.
There you
Yay! Thank you.
Nice.
go.
Love it.
all
Well,
win.
well, Soto, safe travels and be careful on the road there. Thanks for joining us, and feel free to jump back in. Exciting to have you here and just see you jump immediately and exercising these new tools with using DAO. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the space.
You got it. All right, we're gonna keep moving along.
Soto, if you can access your X post announcing your DAO shift, put it in the chat here so everyone can reshare it.
Will do, Christian. Also, we got the message from our Twitter people, and I think we're gonna be onboarding soon. Most of our region community as advisors, but now we are keeping it in Turkish in the WhatsApp group, and we are hoping to find a better way, just getting there before getting to the proposals on chain. So thanks for the message. And yeah, I will share.
Wonderful. Becca, do you want to touch in on the selling credits with the Stripe integration?
Yeah, so as one of the pieces of the larger puzzle building out like an admin dashboard experience, we've released the feature around creating sell orders with a Stripe integration. So you would be able to, if you were developing projects and had credits and had issued credit batches, you attach your Stripe account, you're able to create your own sell orders with USD, and then manage those yourselves, cancel them yourself, and really manage it more autonomously and efficiently. So look forward to that being released more widely, and you're able to just access credit batches that you've already been issued. So really exciting development and great work, team.
Nice job. Thank you. Yeah, great new feature. Great. So Max, thank you for staying up. Do you want to bring us up to speed on what's happening at Regen Tokenomics?
Yeah, sure. And I feel my talk would be mostly mix of various directions as they are interrelated together, as it should be in the living systems. But let me quickly guide you through what's happening. So yeah, chain upgrade was a great success. Then a big turn was on the passing of the proposal that would move 15% of issuance for the liquidity DAO through a community fund proposals. And there are like two proposals that were recently passed, I guess, regarding further integration. Then there are like new stable coins proposed. You could follow the links. I guess there should be some link to this presentation afterwards. For us in Regen Tokenomics, the like most interesting aspects of the ledger upgrade were like DAO and burn mechanics. So we're exploring now how we can utilize them for the token. I guess there would be a separate section on the liquidity, but there is really interesting partnership in discussion with Exchequer. And we also are active in the Spinach Fi competition for the liquidity. Yeah, Regen Commons call just ended, I guess. So there is like lots of active work going on. And also with the community, we were researching with Mark strategies for the Regen token. He was mostly focused on the business strategies, and that would be coming soon, as well as the Regen narrative, some polls we did on X and researching what should be the story that we should build on. And also the proposal on fixed cap dynamic supply is kind of a big bite, you know. So we'll be looking to do some signaling vote to see how our community feels about it and to see if it requires more time to develop. Then on the part of the Regen Coal Bank initiative, I'm actively researching now the Sarafu network. We have here on the call Cauê from the Green Pill Brazil and more people recently joining. So it's really curious how we could use Regen for collateral or for enabling pools with local regenerative providers. We'll keep you in the loop on that. And coming to the challenges overall, like long-term things that we're inviting you to think with us, is that overall we're seeing that there's some reduced corporate interest in the offsets, and thus maybe we should be focusing retail market. Overall, this requires like some appeal to the buyers. And when we speak about like doing more sales in DeFi, we of course are competing with the attention coins. So how do we deal with this? How do we separate or build stronger? These are the big challenges to navigate. And if you like to join these conversations, follow the link. There are all the meeting notes. We have calls every Tuesday. There is all the knowledge base there. So thanks so much and hope to see you there.
Great. Thanks so much, Max. Appreciate the work of your group. Any questions for Max before we move on? All right. Let's keep charging through. On a related note, Christian from Liquidity DAO is here. Some big news that's been touched on already, but Christian, you want to share a little bit more about the Prop 49 and other movements in Liquidity DAO?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Prop 49 instantiated the Liquidity DAO as an organization that is accountable to the voters of the Regen token. So there's an initial council of Will Saul, myself, and James from Bridge.eco. So 3 of the Regen Foundation, Regen Network Development, and Bridge.eco are all represented on the initial council. And our aim is really to do whatever we can to increase the amount of liquidity and other related stats with the Regen coin so that it appears as legitimate and attractive to those who might want to get involved from the Regen coin perspective. It's been something that's a long time coming, and to be honest, for years, a lot of the players in the Regen circle were unwilling or unable to interact with the Regen coin in the way we would have liked to um, because of regulatory issues, et cetera. With the change in administration, et cetera, in the U.S. government, some of that stuff is softened and or become much more clear about what the regulatory stance around coins like the Regen coin are. So I'm excited that we now have a community-run Liquidity DAO out there to try to focus on increasing the amount of liquidity for into the future for this coin. It's gonna make a big difference. We just passed the technical, or actually, I think it's up for vote right now, actually, the technical implementation of shifting the 15% emissions from the general pool into the community pool. And that 15% of emissions will be directed towards the Liquidity DAO through further proposals. Last check, there was about $200,000 in liquidity across Celo, Osmosis, Base, and Polygon, and that's just going to continue to grow. There's a number of things that are lining up right now. Max mentioned working with exchequer.fi on some interesting smart contracts that could attract liquidity. We have at least one person who's interested in engaging in that to provide USDC into a contract that could provide at least 18 months of liquidity there. Yeah, there's a lot more to come. Another initiative that I'm working on is getting a podcast up and running. We already have one podcast that Gregory runs. We're going to collaborate with that podcast on getting a much more kind of entertaining, focused, informational podcast about individual projects and individual topics related to Regen Network. So we might take an individual eco credit or an individual endowment project. Maybe we'll talk to Earthist, for example, etc., and just create a single podcast about that topic so that anyone who's coming into Regen Network wanting to learn more can flip through many topics of interest and listen to it on their commute. So yep, the last thing on this slide here is that incentives are coming soon on regenerative.fi. It's a new DEX popping up on Celo. Their launch is imminent. I don't know exactly what that means, but weeks, hopefully not too many weeks out. It'll be launching. People should engage there, provide liquidity, buy Regen token, etc. So I'm pumped. I'm excited about everything that's happening right now with Regen. I feel like we're at a real inflection point.
And you've seen a lot, Christian, so that's some strong words. So thanks for, again, your stalwart support for the network.
Absolutely.
Such Chad. So
my heart is there.
No, it is. Right on. Great. Well, let's keep moving on. Actually, are there any questions for Christian before we move on liquidity?
Win Liquidity DAO on DAO.
I don't know. I was just looking at like maybe I should spin it up right now. A great tool. Whoever knows, it's super easy to use DAO. I literally probably could spin it up between now and the time we finish this call. So maybe we'll see it though.
All
We'll
right.
see it there.
We're watching, Christian. If it's not showing up by the end, I don't know. We're gonna have to do something. All right, let's keep moving. Thanks all. Noah, you want to give
Yeah,
us DAO tour? Tell us what's happening.
yeah. Good time to follow that one. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a DAO actually, so maybe that'll inspire you to do it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. For those that don't know me, I'm the like core maintainer of DAO. I've been working on it for like 3 years or so, and I think we've been trying to get DAO on Regen since the month we started building it. We've been kind of early affiliated these communities, so it's finally happening. 2025 is the year, and yeah, it's good that we've had this time, I think, to kind of battle test it on all these different ecosystems. Regen's been like exploring it and running different projects in different parts of the world on different chains in the Cosmos ecosystem, and now it's this really like polished product, and it's ready to be used here. Um, yeah, so migration from other chains into Regen, there's no like official path. It's just the contracts on different chains can't really talk to each other. So you just kind of have to make a new DAO. And if you have a token, like a governance token, you could figure out how to IBC it over, or you can just create a new one and kind of transfer, make like a mint and burn if you need to do that. But I don't think there's anything crazy like that happening yet anyway. So it's probably pretty easy to just make a new DAO that's like a multi-sig with the specific members that you want. And then use cases are, they're infinite. I listed four that I think are probably the most relevant for Regen stuff right now. But like collective resource and team management, so far most of data has been applied to like financial tools and new crypto protocols and stuff, and that's all really important. But Regen's doing a lot of the boots on the ground, real world change kind of work, and that's what we've been trying to build for this whole time. So I think it's going to be cool to see how you guys can experiment with all that different resource and team management in the real world. And then along with that come different fund distribution mechanisms. So we have like vesting payments, which are kind of like salaries. We have like retroactive compensation cycles that I know Austin and some projects have been exploring to do kind of novel contributor based collaborative models. And then staking rewards if you want to give like, distribute rewards over time to the participants of the DAO. That can be useful for just like incentivizing participation and stuff. Um, and then, now that you have Cosmwasm and people want to build protocols, maybe uh, there will be some just necessary software mechanism, human in the loop governance there, which will also be important if there's like AI stuff happening. And then I think the biggest thing that's kind of not talked about as much is just that like having this like fully open source DAO software means that you can just experiment with novel systems and kind of play around like you're in a playground, and the playground is, how humans can coordinate with each other. So the best part is that you don't need to have any idea of what you want to do. You can just kind of keep changing it and piece it together. And DAO is built to be very open source and modular. So you can start a DAO with like one voting system and one like proposal flow, and then you can just like swap it out or add a new one and try all these different things together. And so it's like building blocks. It's like Lego blocks for governance features. So um, right now everything happens through proposals, and I'll show you that in a second. But soon, the Regen Foundation funded a grant recently that's almost done to build like authorizations, like roles in DAOs, which makes DAOs a lot more like human organizations. And so you'll be able to set up um, actual like internal roles in a DAO and give people that are voting members or not voting members like specific privileges to manage stuff on behalf of the DAO. So not everything has to go through this like giant direct democracy vote, but you can still kind of rely on that system um, on the back end. I see Curtis, you have a question. Maybe it's a good time to do that now before I hop into the demo, if it's relevant to DAO.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna go on, just like to show my excitement. Um, Hi everyone, it's Curtis, the Regen OG, I guess. I've been in Cosmos for a long time. I have my own DAO on DAO for the memes. And so I've always what you're talking about and all the functionality from these for the DAOs. Something that I've always considered. I love marketing. I love like going out and showing the brands and showing like the imaging and gathering community. Um, and so that's what kind of I feel like my role is synchronizing with Cosmos in that way, because a lot of people just have left Cosmos, and a lot of people, there's really not a lot of vibe left, which is actually open for a lot of opportunity. So and then with Regen, I'm really excited to, I'm a power user when it comes to these things. So I love giving feedback. I love just using something until it's like broken almost, pretty much sometimes. Osmosis being like an example for the decks, with liquidity and how that works, and learning how all that works is really interesting to me. And then using that to for marketing and all this like stuff. And that's generally meme coins. But yeah, I just wanted to say, show my excitement and kind of like, chime in a little bit, but no questions really. I'm just gonna listen, and I don't want to take away from y'all because I'm all over the place. I'm at work and just here to listen. I might chime in for some other things. I'm really excited about AI and kind of facilitating these really interesting conversations around AI and in a like quality philosophy and stuff like that. So yeah, just keep going on ahead, man. Nice to meet you, Noah.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Nice to meet you.
People that are building, something that I'm using in Cosmos instead of something that I'm not using, which is like all over. Everyone's
Yeah.
just promoting their own thing. So excited. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, people are leaving Cosmos, but they were here for the wrong reasons, if they're leaving. Like the tech is just really powerful and useful. And I think it's good that we're moving on from this era of just like hype-based interest to like, okay, there's actually useful things to do now. Like we have to be here because there's no other choice. We're here because this is the best place to be for the kind of things that we want to do. So I very much see Dado as part of that. It's one of the oldest Cosmos projects, and it's still standing, which is awesome. Um, and so, yeah, so I'll get to a demo. On the right here in this image, you can see that there's like 3 different DAO types. And so we just have like the typical membership DAO multi-sig structure where you specify exactly which wallets are members, or which, you can have DAOs as members too, whatever account address you want. And then you give them an assigned unit of voting power, and that's just how it works. And then you can update that at any point. There's also token-based DAOs, which are your traditional like staking tokens. And then we have NFT-based DAOs. I don't think Regen has NFTs yet because smart contracts were just enabled, but that can be something that you guys explore if you want. DAOs can make their own NFTs. You could like create a collection that manages resources or something and make that part of like a new DAO that you create that's based on those assets. Anything is possible here. And I'm just going to show you real quick how easy it is to make a DAO. Okay, can you see this? Is this good?
I'm
Can
not
confirm.
I'm not seeing it, but I enabled you to
M-
share.
I
It
see
says
it.
I'm sharing. You might have to switch over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
see.
I think it's in a different tab on Zoom. Not sure exactly how it works.
Is anyone else seeing it?
Tabs at the top, where it says meeting and then Noah's screen at the very top of the screen.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I've got like 50 windows open. Thanks, Noah.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, so this is the DAO creation. It's at dao.zone/DAO/create. It's also this plus button in the bottom left. These are some DAOs that I have like created and I'm following. But yeah, you just go in the bottom left, hit create, and then you can pick any of the chains that you want. Regen's right here. And then you can set like a nice banner image. You can set a DAO image and then type in your name. So this is going to be a test DAO and like what this DAO does. This DAO is going to change the world. And then you could import from a multi-sig if you happen to be using like a signature-based multi-sig that uses the command line. It will like automatically load the wallet addresses and the ratios, the voting ratio from that. Or you can just start from scratch. So multi-sig, I'll show you here. If you hit continue, you just like specify all of the different people that you want to be in the DAO. You can also make different tiers. So if you have like, core contributors and then you have like community members, you could give the core team like 10 voting power, like each of them. And then you can give all of these, like maybe this is the community and they each have like one voting power, so you can kind of like create different ratios between different groups of people. This tier interface isn't really that meaningful. Like it doesn't get saved later. It's just kind of to help you, because a lot of DAOs kind of come to this screen having some idea of the different groups of people that are part of their DAOs. So you can specify all these people here. You see I also have like a profile name. You can like set a profile for your wallet and attach a name so that people can like search your address whenever there's like an address box. But whatever, we'll do that now. And then, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna show you the token-based DAO. Also, if you want to use a token, you can use an existing token. Don't think Regen has token factory right now, so you can't actually create a new token for a DAO. We could definitely change that. We could also use CW20s, which are smart contract-based tokens. But if you wanted, you could like use Regen token and people could stake Regen to this DAO, and then their voting membership would be based on their voting power would be based on that token. But I'm just gonna go create a multi-sig and we'll add myself. It'll be defaulted there. And then you have all these choices of parameters. Most of them you don't need to change, but I'll go through them really quickly. You can set how long proposals take. This is the amount of time that people will have to vote, assuming the vote doesn't resolve any earlier. By default, there's no like revoting allowed. So like the moment that enough people vote and the outcome is guaranteed, if the majority, votes yes, then you can execute it right away. You don't have to wait for this whole duration. You could set a proposal deposit, so you can charge like 10 regen as like an anti-spam measure if you wanted. You can choose any token you want. I think there's probably some other tokens. I guess there's this the carbon token you could use. So you can create like some spam measures here. You could enable multiple choice proposals. So if you want more than just yes and no, you could add like A, B, C, D, and everyone could vote which choice they prefer. And then you can like specify exactly like how many people need to vote yes to pass something. You can specify how much of the voting body must turn out for the vote to be valid. So even if you have a majority passing threshold, you still need like 50% of the people to come out just to avoid people like low participation from being able to change things for the whole DAO. You can turn on revoting, which will slow down governance a bit, but will ensure people can have, lengthy debates and change their mind throughout the voting period. And then, yeah, you could allow anyone to submit proposals, even if they're not part of the DAO, which might be interesting. Maybe you want to take like applications for some program, and you could kind of like charge like a $5 proposal submission fee, and then that proposal does something, maybe adds them to the DAO or distributes some resources or something like that. You can specify who's allowed to execute things. This one is more technical, doesn't really matter. The default is fine. And then these two last features here are pretty powerful. These allow you to set up like governance dependence relationships. So you can make it so that some DAO or account or multisig or even like chain governance must like approve a proposal before someone can vote on it. So someone could propose something to a DAO that's like spend money, but then they have like an admin council, like security council that has to actually verify that proposal is legitimate before everyone is actually allowed to vote on it. And so that's a before step in the proposal process. You could also do the after the veto. So you can make it so that a DAO, it's like past proposals are frozen for like a week and some other organization has the authority to veto that proposal so it doesn't go through. So both of these kind of allow for more granular control over the proposal process. You can specify how long that is, add more than one veto, or yeah. So that's pretty good. We have docs, and I think these are pretty straightforward, but yeah, that's mostly what you can, that's all the configuration you have. And then we have these like extensions or modules, like the vesting payments I mentioned, like retroactive compensation, and you can enable all of these after the fact through proposals. And then press is just kind of like you can kind of create like an article system for your DAO, so you can publish press posts, press releases and stuff through the DAO, which is kind of cool. This is another way to have, proposals by default are kind of this transparent like documentation system, but this is a more explicit, like you can publish posts, you can update them. They technically are NFTs, so you could sell them if you wanted to. Yeah. And then you come on here and you can see everything that you set, and you can see all of the code that's going to execute if you want, just to verify everything looks good. And then you go here and create your DAO. This also exists on testnet. So if you want to spend testnet coins instead, just like setting things up, making sure the configuration looks good before. This is at testnet.dao.zone. So you just add a testnet dot before the domain, and it's the same exact UI. And we have all these test nets, and then the Regen upgrade testnet is the one that we're using here. Yeah, and then let me see. Okay, so this is the first DAO. I always create a moon phase DAO on new chains just to test it to make sure it works. This image is like it's a Cloudflare worker that's serving like a rounded version of the current moon phase. So I think there's like a full moon in 2 days. So it rounds to the nearest quarter moon. So this is a full moon right now. And then I did like a test proposal to make sure you can spend money. You can see the treasury right here. I could go deposit more regen if I wanted to. And then you can have sub DAOs. You can create subcommittees that manage different operations or hold different funds or have authority to like add members or remove members or whatever you want there. You can see everyone that's in the DAO and their voting power. And then you can also interact with apps. Regen doesn't have any apps yet, at least not like smart contract based apps, but it is connected through IBC, so you can create accounts on these different chains and interact with them. So you can interact with the Osmosis DEX from your like DAO directly, and then it'll like create the IBC transactions that will execute this in a proposal. I think I still need to set up the IBC connection, so this won't work quite yet, but you can like interact with it like a normal wallet can as your DAO. And then I'll just show you the last thing is the proposal flow. This is like the core operation of a DAO right now. You go here, you create a proposal, you put a title and description in. You can select between the single choice and the multiple choice. If you choose multiple choice, you can add as many options here as you want, and they can all do different things. And only the winner will actually get to do actions. And then everything that you can do is in this action library UI. And this is basically just a nice wrapper around all of the Cosmos messages that are available. And so in the treasury, we have things like enable vesting payments, which you have to set up and create like a new contract with this button before you can actually start vesting payments to people. You can enable retroactive compensation here, and that shows up in a new tab on the DAO. You can set up rewards flows. So this is like member-based proportional rewards to their voting power. And so you just create new reward distributions here and customize all of the distribution rates and everything. So yeah, this is where you want to go if you want to do something. We have docs at docs.dao.zone if you need help. You can also see those in the sidebar. There's this.
Are you guys going
There's
to pull
there's the
in
button.
the general UI, the roles-based stuff that, I know we're working on general UI. Yeah.
Yeah. So Regen is you guys are building your own UI that kind of abstracts a lot of this, which is going to be awesome. We're also going to add support for that in here so you can see everyone's roles and you can execute stuff that you have the permission to execute. So soon this will have an upgrade. That contract is pretty much done. I just merged in the final review today. So yeah, this will have a new section to this action library. We'll have like a roles area where you could create roles and create authorizations and assign them to people and view the action log and stuff. The
So
audit
they'll
log.
sort of be twin in terms of like Regen's context. Somebody could roll up into the DAO interface and be doing stuff from there, or they could be logging into app.regen.network and they could be managing the same functionality with the like more limited UI that's geared specifically towards like a project developer or a land steward to kind of like constrain their user experience so that they're not kind of, overwhelmed by the universe of functionality here. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. This is the source of truth. The contracts are identical. There's only one source of contract. So both UIs will be pulling from the same place. Actions will be performed on the same DAO. I imagine most people will want to use the UI that you guys build, because mine is going to be so general. It's going to support, it's going to try to do some like crazy message action matching and show you anything you can do, which is going to be extremely overwhelming. So definitely a power user tool, and then Regen will create very tailored, specific experiences based on the actions that you can do. So it'll live here
And
for
like
sure for
like another
transparency.
random question, are you thinking about doing an MCP for the CosmWasm contract? Do you already have one?
Yeah, you mean to actually like execute stuff on it?
Yeah, like a model context protocol that then you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
use as a foundation for agentic actions. But I mean, I assume you'd want to have an MCP so that it is precise and, not hallucinating or whatever about
Yeah. We built I built an MCP for our indexers. So you could ask questions about DAOs, like who's in this DAO, or what were the last proposals, or is anything open right now? Like I've hesitated to make an MCP for actually executing smart contract actions because, yeah, like you said, it can hallucinate. DAOs are so like with the roles, I think it'll be better. I think that interface would be pretty good because you have very well scoped rules. If you were having it make proposals on your behalf, it might be dangerous because if you don't know what it's doing, a DAO can execute anything, so it'd be very easy to shoot yourself in the foot. Like I don't know if I'd want to use an MCP just attached to my wallet and just tell it to do stuff by itself. But I think with the roles, that could be a good way to set up an MCP, and we can definitely just do it. I don't think it'd be very hard, but it is risky to do that, which is why we haven't done it yet, because I haven't thought of the best way to do it. But I'm happy to work with you to figure out what you would want that to look like. Um, yeah.
cool.
Great. So exciting.
Yeah, I
Gregory,
mean, my thought there is that the possibility exists. Like, I mean, I think maybe thinking through roles and safety precautions, but
Yeah.
I guess I would sort of be an advocate if you were to create, like, anybody could roll up right now and ask Claude to create a CosmWasm MCP for
Yeah.
downtown. If you create an MCP and
Yeah.
it becomes canonical, the possibility is you could actually design in some safety rails and some other things.
Yeah.
But the positive thing is potentially the leap from the existing user experience that's screen-based
Yeah.
and quite complex could
Yeah.
actually shift to, like, I'm talking to ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, and I'm able to have a conversation as a land steward, for instance, as a non-technical
Yeah.
land steward, and I'm able to say, like, hey, give me the latest governance stuff from Earthist, give me the latest governance, backlog from Regen Ledger. According to this vision that I have, advise me on how to vote. Okay, given that, execute votes X, Y, and Z, or execute a signature. I've reviewed the anyway.
Yeah.
I actually feel like
Yeah.
we're like this close to leaping into
Yeah.
a seamless user experience that
Yeah.
means that a lot of the challenges that we faced as a network that have to do with user experience and the complexity of this tech stack and the sort of
Right.
esoteric
Right.
nature of everything can get abstracted away safely. I mean, safety is the key,
Yeah. Yeah.
and give an experience where a non-technical user could actually have a dialogue and then give commands and like execute commands of a like upload
Yeah.
this photo and sign it for our project. From that all the way
Yeah. Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
like vote on Regen Ledger Prop 53. So anyway,
Right. Totally possible. Is it, do you know if it's easy to hook wallets up to MCP? Like, would you have to connect Kepler? Would you have to build your own sort of
there is an
wallet interface
Eliza,
for that?
there is a Cosmos SDK, Eliza. I just found a Cosmos SDK
Okay.
Eliza thing so you can link to
Adapt. Okay.
agents. I haven't done the next research to see how that's
Yeah.
linking
Yeah.
to wallets actually. We have a
Yeah.
team. If you want to start geeking out on that, there
Yeah.
is now a weekly Regen AI stand-up with the Gaia AI team and Giancarlo and some other people.
Okay.
So there's going to be, and Giancarlo created a Regen MCP. There's a couple of other tools. We have an Eliza instance up and running. So
Okay.
potentially we could pick up some quick steam and like Who knows? Like maybe in a month we could have a voice-activated governance voting. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it really
No,
it's simpler than it sounds, which is
no,
awesome.
no.
But
Quick question.
yeah,
Did you do your MCP with like TypeScript or something like that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, then
just TypeScript.
you can just use like it depends. Like if you treat it like an agent, you can just use Cosmos JS to sign it,
Yeah,
or
you'd have to run it
or
locally though, right? You'd have to run your own locally with
yeah,
Claude
or
Desktop.
exactly like if you
Yeah,
do it deployed, you need to implement OAuth on top of it, like because
that's the
then it will
problem.
be
Yeah, we can't really have
yeah
people giving us their wallet mnemonics and stuff. We could generate the messages to
yes
sign.
Yeah, we
that
don't want to do that. Yeah, we
I think
gotta.
yeah, we could actually okay, no, this could just be a website that generates the transaction and then sends it to the website and your wallet prompts you to sign it. We
yeah
could build that into DAO pretty easily.
yeah
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
probably the best.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
do that. Yeah.
That sounds fun, and we should keep up that jam.
Yeah.
And where's the best place to Giancarlo and Gregory to pick up that conversation? Is there a
Well,
proper?
people, I mean, this just like I'm happy to extend an invite to technical folks who want to participate in the weekly stand-up. For those of you who are non-technical and are just excited about the tools, I think we should create a different space for sort of like how we're doing things, but I want to keep that call really limited. And so if folks want, I'm happy to add you to the calendar invite if you're interested in, for instance, digging in with Giancarlo about the MCP, geeking out around the ELIZA
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
LangChain or whatever the specific tools that we're like building at the infrastructure level in order to and obviously that's also the venue that we should be having substantive conversations about safety and
Yeah. Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
things. That's the right forum for right now. Also, I would just invite people, if you have ideas and things, please go to the forum.regen.network, go to Discourse. We are plugging that into our AI tools as well. So to the degree to which we have clear, substantive, well-documented conversations on the Discourse forum, that is going to set us up for really high quality decision making within our community, right? That's going to become kind of like our source of truth. And so if you have ideas or concerns, just want to keep inviting people, go there because that creates a foundation for long form discussion that we can actually use to accelerate. Like I think the flywheel is starting to go. I think we're going to start moving, and high quality context, high quality conversation, real rigor is going to be the foundation for any of this not becoming a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great. I'm personally I'm hesitant to commit to another weekly call, but I will definitely come to some. That sounds like
Yeah,
the right
don't
forum for
need to
that.
commit. It's just there, and there's
Great.
a
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
taking place, and we can try to cross thread.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah,
could set up a AI. I'm sure maybe you already have one like a Telegram group that's just AI X regen, X governance stuff. Would be cool too.
yeah, cool. And or Slack or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, whatever.
Telegram
Cool.
for boomers.
Right on. Well, thank you, Noah. Such
Yeah,
exciting development, and I see wheels turning across the call here about what to mess around with.
just on the last note, hop in our Discord, which is discord.dowdow.zone. If you have bugs or questions or just anything you're thinking about, that's the best place to reach just like a community of people who know how to use DAO and
Wonderful.
also me. Yep.
Great. Well, I'm going to pivot us back over into the next presentation. So Giancarlo, and then we're going to Brandon share to tie us out. We're going to pass over a couple other registry updates until the next call. But Giancarlo, you want to bring us up to speed on the successful upgrade to 0.47, what that means, and what's next?
Yeah. I'll do it as fast as possible because I know we're on the clock. So essentially, like what we've been telling everybody all the time, like the updates for upgrade for 7 is finally complete and on mainnet, and it's been there for a couple of weeks. This is what actually enables that out right now because part of that upgrade is Cosmo Wasm. We have the ability to burn tokens too for tokenomics, and also Data Module V2 which is a little bit more powerful than the last one. And now next steps right now is either moving to 50 or 53. One of the big reasons is IBC Eureka, so being able to interpolate very nicely with a lot of the Ethereum ecosystem. And that's like the main driver, but we are thinking about other possible upgrades for the data module. Maybe compatibility with attestations, we'll see from Ethereum. And finally, also as kind of like Builder DAO, we are trying to improve like Regen tooling for AI related things like the ones that were being spoken before. So right now there's an MCP server, and the same as Noah mentioned, this one only supports all Cosmos SDK and Regen custom messages that are queries. Because of the very same reason he mentioned, we have not implemented transactions yet, so no actual actions that require change of state or will require an address to sign something. Also because we still want to discuss and figure out what's like the safest and most logical way of doing it. It depends heavily if it's a human using it too or if it's an actual agent. So we have to discuss that. And also we created also like there's a Regen.js repo that is for anything JavaScript related that you want to interact with Regen. We also created like a Rust Regen or like Regen RS API. So like people who want to interact with Regen can do it through Rust for anybody who is building stuff in Rust. And because a lot of other stuff that I will announce when we have a more clear picture later that is being built right now. But yeah, that's kind of like the updates for that, like as fast as possible.
Great. Thank you, Giancarlo. Okay. I think the Gaia team, I don't think they're here today, but Brandon put together a short presentation about the work that he's leading. So I'm going to go ahead and move through. Brandon, the floor is yours.
Present. Hey, thanks everyone for your awesome updates. And it really does looks like momentum is brewing. And I just wanted to share my daily regen rhythm as it stands. I try to create about 100 pieces of content a day. I'm not hitting that threshold yet, but that's the main goal. The way I look at this network, it feels like a work network for me. It's my work. That's what I tune in for. I just wanted to frame it like that. The second thing I do is I make a few swaps on bridge.eco. And the third thing I do is I ping the community spaces. So if you're new, non-technical, you can chime into these community spaces and talk with me. I'm more available and on the ground. Next slide, please. Well, something I'm designing, and I think we're gonna need as AI starts to get more adept in our world. I'm designing like a bot deployer so that you can so that anyone can create a bot or a few to center around Regen and its eco credits. So it'd be like an agent of sorts, and we would be using the same infrastructure that bridge.eco is operating off of, which is Squid, Axelar, and Eco Token infra. You can look at Eco Token further from bridge.eco. And yeah, so we ultimately this would make Regen a store of value. For me, I would construct this to specifically store any profits into the Regen token, the Regen coin. Next slide, please. The proposals that I'm leading at this moment are stablecoin related in the Cosmos ecosystem. The two prominent stablecoin issuers and chains are Noble and Kava. Noble works with USDC, Kava works with USDT, and these guys are unlocking a lot with the recent Genius stablecoin bill, and we're trying to get started on that. So the two proposals are up in the forum, and we just want to whitelist USDC from Noble and USDT from Kava and put them in the allow list. And then we can start syncing with the IBC channel, the relayer, and the UI work needed, where the main unlock would be allowing, would be unlocking essentially Kava and Noble being able to buy eco credits, and then USDT and USDC, that network effect is the intention. Next slide, please. Yeah, so things that I already went over, this is as stable coins become more used, essentially they're gonna funnel in a lot of these big giants that are able to mint stable coins. They're looking to buy something to make them look good, to make the world a better place as well, which we offer, which we provide. Next slide, please. And thank you everyone for your time. What needs to be done for, once we're going to submit a both in one on-chain proposal, and this is essentially me asking for help on that. A validator or proposal holder must sponsor the on-chain vote, and then Regen devs can confirm the timeline for IBC channel setup, front-end readiness for new denom visibility, and I will be a main point of contact for that. Next slide. Yes. Next community call on Thursday, September 4th. Let's go.
Brandon, thanks so much. Really appreciate you leaning in and just shipping. Appreciate that.
Thank you too.
Well, great. I think that brings us to the end. For those who are on, if there are any just other like gratitudes or quick shout outs, please feel free to take a moment. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping. Any quick shout?
My excitement.
Go ahead. Who's that?
I'm just gonna share my excitement with I work a lot right now, and I'm kind of tied up in a lot of things, and I'm doing a lot of really interesting things in the cosmos as well. With as regards to AI, multi-chain, like liquidity, and even like stuff on secret networks. That's what I'm trying to explore. My intention is to work with them on some cool, integral, novel stuff. Like ensure like integrate like dev development is like novel and secure, because I know we're going to be building some really cool things. I don't know. I'm driving a big truck right now, but hopefully you guys can't hear it. But Brandon, I really jive with what your intentions are for this for Regen. I have like very similar work interests in as far as what you've been talking about. I love like being out there, supporting, showing love, of explaining, teaching, whatever. Just being out there trying to talk about and facilitate these really, really interesting conversations and educate a lot of people. That's really what I really feel like that comes really easy to me. So I'm really interested in being that kind of person. And X is pretty fun as it is right now, but I really want to do some more refi. Because this is the source of refi is like this quality philosophy. And I know a lot of us have like we understand nature very well, and it's like a really good design model for us to like use. And I'm just ready to pick our brains, so just really grateful to be here, and I'm seeing the vision come clearer with how reality for Regen and refi, and how much success we could bring to the table here. So really amazing, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah.
Drive safe.
Man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Curtis, let's literally have a jam in the Regen Network open community Telegram. We can jam and talk there a bunch, and then it would really strengthen momentum, I think.
Great idea. All right. I think that brings us to the end. Thank you, everyone, for all your time and attention to the Regen Network movement. Thank you for all of your contributions. So that's it. We'll see you in September. Take care, everyone.